Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Quentin Tarantino, man.
The show is about to begin.
This is a bunch of bullshit.
The bar is open. Welcome back to the Titty and Shiner Show, episode 77. We had to part one last episode because we got to talking about directors and started going into a rabbit hole. And then, we figured we were getting more balls and strikes, so we need to up the strike zone. We need to talk about a little more directing because there's a whole lot more movies than just what we were barking at last week. My name is Big Titty, and I've had a very, very, very awesome Saturday. The weather was beautiful.
Well, my name is Shiner, and I have to, I'm going to concur with that. It was a great day. It was gorgeous outside.
Lazy ass day for me. I mean, I didn't do crap.
I haven't done shit either, man. I mean, I really haven't.
It's been an incredible day. Took a 4-hour nap.
Oh, that's a night of sleep for me sometimes.
I took a 4-hour nap. I did. Thanks to the Hulk.
I should have, man. I should have. Everybody that follows me on the Instagram will know. Titty, I was back in the ER yesterday. Yeah, so I think I'm just kind of dragging ass because I'm still kind of worn out from that whole process. But I probably shot it. That would have been more productive. Like taking a nap would have been more productive than anything I've done today.
And you saw a medical provider that I guess came out of retirement.
That's a good way to put it, dude.
They asked for my help, Sonny, so I'm here.
There's a lot of people that are kind of like fans of Shiner down in the ER. Like I hit the door and man, they're pulling for me. They'll do anything they can to help me. Like, I've got a good rapport with those people on the night shift.
Why couldn't you film an episode of the Shiner Chronicles there?
Oh, HIPAA. I mean, that's why. The freaking HIPAA laws.
Only the most deadliest mammal on the planet.
When I left there last night, all the people that worked there that were fans of me prior still were, but I guarantee you I did not gain a new fan in that elderly doctor that was taking care of me. Man, me and her were button heads, dude.
Her last name wasn't Sugarbush, was it?
Well, they put me in. I mean, luck of the draw. Well, here's the weird deal, man. They get me in there, and they stop at the nurse's station. I see the paramedic walk over and talk to the charge nurse. Then they take me down this back hall. I end up right next to the doors that they bring you in from the ambulance in. So I'm in the back hall. Ooh. I'm in a negative pressure room already. And I start looking around, and I mean, there's a stack of gowns outside my door. This just has a totally different feel. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. They come in gowned up. Okay, I'm like, okay, well, I know things are changing by the day. But then they open a box that has this disposable stethoscope in it. Anybody that listened to me use that little Tonka toy. I mean, it was seriously like one of those, plastic ones you give your kids.
There's better quality ones out there in a Fisher Price kit for kids.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, what? Well, then the radiology chicks come in to shoot an X-ray of my lungs, and they start, oh, honey, you feeling bad? I'm like, well, I can't get any help. I can't get anybody give me any medicine. Well, how long ago was it that you tested positive for COVID? What? I didn't test positive. Go get a nurse. I didn't test positive for COVID. Okay, we'll send one in here. Of course, they don't. So 45 minutes goes by. This nurse shows up.
Oh, baby, we'll get you some help.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
wah, wah, wah. So 45 minutes goes by. The nurse comes in. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't have COVID. And she's like, you didn't test positive. I go, I haven't even been tested. I'm here for this asthma attack that you can hear. So by the time the doctor shows up, she comes in and she's like, well, have you been running she's asking me all these stupid questions, and I answer all of them. She goes, well, do you have any questions for me? I go, yeah. When are you going to help me with this fucking asthma attack I'm having? And she goes, excuse me? I said, I have been here for over an hour. We're pushing an hour and a half, and I have yet to get anything that's going to help me. I'm just sitting here sucking as much air as I possibly can muster strength to do. So she leaves and she comes back and she wants to give me just like a 15-minute nebulizer treatment. I still haven't had any steroids. So I'll tell her, I say, hey, look, here's how we do this. I get an hour-long treatment of a Duoneb. I get 125 of Solumedrol, and I get 2 grams of mag. And then they pat me on top of my head and they send me to my house. She's like, well, that's not how I like to treat asthmatics. I was like, I don't care how you like to treat asthmatics. Get me somebody in here that'll do exactly what I'm telling them to.
The proverbial argument. That's not how I like to treat a woman. No, sometimes you got to rough them bitches up. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just need a good spanking.
That's like Barbara Walters when she asked Richard Pryor, have you ever been guilty of beating any of your women? Yeah. And she was like, what? Well, why? Because they need it. Classic Richard Pryor.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's how the whole visit went, dude. Like, it was unbelievable. It was pushing 2 hours before I had a line in my hand and they were pushing any kind of meds to me. It was crazy.
And IMSA wouldn't start a line?
No, he told me that he had seen how many times I've been taken to the hospital, and he wasn't comfortable giving me any more steroids because he's afraid I was going to get Cushing's syndrome. And I'm like, bro, I probably have Cushing's syndrome. Just put a line in my hand and do this. Well, not only did he not give me any steroids, he didn't give me a breathing treatment either on the way to the hospital. That's the second time. And here's the deal. I was pissed. I was really pissed about it until I started thinking.
Thanks, Uber.
They may. Basically, that's why.
Yeah.
You open your phone up and it's got the little ambulance coming to you on the.
I called IMSA, not Uber. I'll just get out here and wait for IMSA.
In their defense, they may be telling them not to give nebulizer treatments because if somebody does have COVID, it, like I was talking before, it turns it into an aerosol. It turns the virus literally into an aerosol, and it's like that would be a night. They'd have to burn that ambulance to the ground.
Right, but tell me the truth. Don't.
Yeah. Keep me in the loop, bud. And then apparently he told him that I had COVID.
COVID.
I'm like, what a dick move.
Somebody out there, please, whoever's having a child, whoever conceived a child from like February till now, please, if it's a boy, name him COVID. And if you have a female, you can name her Covita. I don't care. But
Covita, yeah, just put an A on the end of it. I'm sure somebody will do something stupid like that.
There's got to be.
Man, when I was working for the sheriff's office, dude, I saw quite the creative, I guess we'd put it, names. Like, there was some good ones out there.
There was that one. I forget what it was.
Unless you can remember, this is going to be real.
I know this is going to take the whole podcast to remember. Yeah. It's right there at the tip of my.
You talk 3L days?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no telling now.
It was. Yeah, God dang, I got nothing. Sorry, guys. I was getting ready to bring you guys something just cool as crap. I don't know. You can go back and listen to some of Three Lunatics old podcasts. They'll figure it if they're still out there. Those things, that's like drying up. Trying to find Three Lunatics stuff out there now. I mean, that's drying up like a 50-year-old vagina, dude.
It just dried on up, did it?
Drying up.
I haven't tried to find any of that stuff in a long time.
YouTube's about the only place now where you can still find most of the chronicled stuff.
That was a different time in our lives, man.
Yeah. The last year and a half of Three Lunatics podcast, that was a good podcast. I mean, it really was. Minus the C word, even that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Well, just because I know how Lady likes, you know what I mean?
Well, I know. Yeah, exactly.
They want all that sugar bush up front. As soon as you get them in the house, you get them by the nape of the neck, drag them down the hallway like a caveman, throw them in the bedroom, tell them to put.
Well, I tell you, dude, I've got a filthy mouth, and there's 2 people in the world that I have reserved the C word for, and I don't use it. dude, I mean, the stuff they've pulled is out of this world, next level stuff is one reason that they get that.
I even think my wife made up a sea term.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget what it was. Like the sea nugget or something like that. I forget. I forget what it was.
That's a good one.
Her and her friend Tammy
got to add to the dictionary one day.
Yeah. They made the lexicon just slightly larger that day.
Oh, man. So no Donnie tonight.
No Donnie tonight. That's like the song No Sugar Tonight. No Donnie tonight. And that's okay. We hardly ever record on Saturdays anyways.
No, these are all extra ones.
Yeah, I take some time, spend with your family, whatever you got to do. I get it. It's a busy week. We can, I think we can drive this one without you anyways. I think we touched on Martin Scorsese a little bit.
Yeah, we did. I think we kind of started to. Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, what's he known for, really? What, in your opinion, what is he?
Well, for me, Taxi Driver and Goodfellas.
Oh, I was gonna say Taxi Driver. Goodfellas. Oh, that's golly, man. Goodfellas. Would you say that's the quintessential gangster movie?
I think so. I like it better than Godfathers. The Godfather series.
I do too. There was, man. What was it? Godfather 2. That just I had a hard time getting through that one.
But I think Netflix just put Taxi Driver back up on the shelf or back up in the machine.
Oh man, I watched that actually not too long ago. I forgot what a great movie.
Oh, it's fantastic, fantastic, and I think the one section of society that gets it more than anybody is probably Vietnam vets. But
I could see how that would ring real.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah, probably really hit close.
Maybe even possibly some of the newer vets, Afghanistan vets.
Maybe. I mean, to an extent, probably a different extent than a Vietnam vet. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking just kind of the head case stuff that you wind up going through right after war. Over time it does get better, but you never get over it. It's something you'll never ever get over. But getting through, yeah, years go by, it does get better. All right, another director, and we both kind of, I think we both landed in the same fence on this one about Spielberg. Spielberg did amazing movies, and then we were talking about God dang it, his name just flew my mind.
George Lucas.
And you're like, okay, so what is Star Wars? Okay, Star Wars.
Yeah, that's.
So now you just become the Derek Cope of Hollywood. Derek Cope was a NASCAR driver. The only win he ever got was against Dale Earnhardt in 1990. 19. Yeah, I think it was 1990. In the Daytona 500, Earnhardt was leading it by a good bit. Kind of taking the high line, coming into 3 and 4. He was ahead by probably 3 or 4 seconds. Not that big a deal, but at Daytona, 3 or 4 seconds is a long time, right? And then he runs over somebody's bell housing transmission piece and cuts tire down, and this guy driving a number 10 car, Purelator filter dude by the name of Derek Cope, Derek with an E on the end of it, because I guess that's what happens when you. But he beat Dale Earnhardt that day, and everybody knew just Earnhardt was going to win that race. Well, now you take that and you go back to what we're talking about, being the Derek Cope of NASCAR. You've got your one race, you got your Star Wars.
Okay, but while you gave that little NASCAR history lesson,
right?
I pulled up his filmography. Here's one that he did that was a great movie, American Graffiti. Have you seen that? Surely you've seen it.
Nah, I was spray painting back in those days, dude.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I have I've never seen the movie all in one spot. I've seen little segments of the movie. I know it's supposed to be amazing, and for whatever reason, I just wasn't in it to win it. That I do need to go back and take a look at it, because I know it's
classic.
Yeah, it's a quintessential generational movie that you know what I mean. That's our mom and dad's generation.
He did American Graffiti. He did the entire series of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I forgot about that. Okay,
yeah, I totally forgot about those movies. But I wasn't aware Lucas did them. He did Howard the Duck.
Of course he did.
Oh, Willow, that was a big one.
And he's done so much stuff on TV.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, you're looking at a good